Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Happy that you stopped by because today is that time again to run another top 10 video about brand new releases. So these are some fragrances that are in the new release category. They are missing off the shelf because they're going to be in this top 10. So when we return, we're going to do my top 10 fragrances so far this year in 2022 according to you. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone. Again, super happy that you stopped by to check out today's video because it's an exciting one. It's that time again to do a top 10 of brand new releases. There are a total of 28 fragrances. 28 isn't all of the new releases from the beginning of the year till now. There are a few that I'm missing, but not very many. And the ones that I'm missing are not going to hugely factor into the rating system. Now, the data that I used to compile this list, which is your list, your favorite new releases of the year so far, is actually from FragranceX.com. So the rating system Fragrantica uses is out of 5. So I'll let you know the rating of each fragrance as we consider it. We're going to start with number 10 and work our way down to the number 1 new release so far in 2022. Now, this is a designer list. We're not going to talk about any niche fragrances in this list. That'll be another video. So designer arena only. Coming in at number 10 is a fragrance by Valentino Uomo, the very popular Uomo line of fragrances. It is the new release Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. This is a fragrance that a lot of people had expectations about this one. I don't think it met the expectations of everyone. I feel like if you are a lover of sweet, gourmand, apple-oriented fragrances, you'll really enjoy this. Of course, it's got that Born in Roma vibe, which is largely associated with a little bit heavier, leather-oriented fragrance, so it does have that kind of resinous background, but it goes in the way of gourmand with that sweet apple tonal quality, and that's what I really like about Valentino Uomo Coral Fantasy. Whether it's the scent body itself or the overall performance that's preventing it from taking a higher spot, I'm not really sure in terms of what everyone else thinks. It's probably a combination of those. Hopefully we'll see it rise in the ranks in the future. The Fragrantica rating of Coral Fantasy was, at the time of this recording, 4.06. Now, coming in at number 9 are two fragrances that actually tied for 9th place. They are both from the same designer, which is unusual. Usually don't see that. They are both from Hugo Boss. The first is from the scent line of fragrances, the scent Le Parfum. And the second one, and this might surprise you, kind of surprised me, is Hugo Man Reflection Edition. This is actually a better fragrance than I think most people expect it to be. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really fresh, nice gym sport kind of fragrance because it has that whole thing going on with it. The whole body and the whole style of the fragrance is more oriented toward sports and kind of, you know, working out and a quick after shower fragrance. But this is a bit better in my estimation overall. According to Fragrantica, they are both sitting at a 4.07 score at the time of this recording, putting them both in 9th place. Moving rapidly deeper into our list, coming in at number 8 in overall best designer fragrance new releases this year so far is a fragrance by Lacoste, speaking of sport fragrances, in the very popular L1212 line. It is L1212 Blanc Eau Fraiche. Now, this one surprised me just a bit that it made the list, while several others that we're not going to be talking about today didn't make the list. That's not to say it's a bad fragrance. It's actually, I think it's definitely worth the place that it's taken, and definitely popular opinion. You especially can appreciate the quality fragrance by Lacoste. Now, L1212 Blanc is the most popular fragrance in the line. I'd say this is going to be right next to it as time goes on, and as it gains popularity. It might even beat out the standard Blanc because the Eau Fraiche is such a minty, fresh, great version of that DNA, and that's why it takes 8th place with a 4.09 score on Fragrantica. Coming in at number 7 is no surprise. It's a great fragrance in my estimation. I think this is the best side of this fragrance. A lot of people didn't care for the previous iteration, but it is a Ralph Lauren fragrance. It is Ralph's Club Parfum. The Parfum edition is a fantastic, in my estimation, one of the best new releases this year so far. I would think it's taking a higher place than number 7, but it's not been out super long. As user experience continues to increase, people are going to vote this up, I believe, not only on just Fragrantica, but other websites as well, like Base Notes or Parfumo.net. People are going to see this for the fine fragrance that it is, and I'm holding it backwards. There you go. Got the little Ralph's logo symbol in the middle there. But Ralph's Club Parfum definitely deserves the number 7 position, coming in with a Fragrantica score of 4.19. Coming in at number 6 is also no surprise. It is a Dolce & Gabbana fragrance, very similar to Light Blue Forever. It is Light Blue Italian Love. Italian Love is just a different, more green in the background, a greener version. It ends up drying more green than the Light Blue Forever, but it still maintains that hyper-realistic grapefruit note, which is what has made it so popular. Light Blue Italian Love has ended up having a 4.23 overall score on Fragrantica, and that's why it comes in at number 6. All right, guys, we are down to your top 5 new releases so far this year in 2022 in the designer men's fragrance arena. Coming in at number 5 is a fragrance. No surprise here. It is by Narciso Rodriguez in the For Him line. It is For Him Bleu Noir Parfum. The Parfum edition. What is it about holding fragrances backwards today? Doing everything backwards. Oh, that's right. It's backwards day. The Parfum edition is absolutely the finest version of the Bleu Noir line of fragrances, in my humble estimation, primarily focusing on that note of iris. This is very similar to more heavier iris-oriented fragrances for men like Dior Homme Intense. It's also kind of sort of similar to like a Prada L'Homme kind of iris, although a bit heavier. And I really enjoy this because it puts it in more in line with a blue type of fragrance. Just like the name implies, one of the best new releases this year so far, so I agree with its, actually would probably bump it up a bit more, but 5th place is a strong position for this fragrance. Coming in at number 5 with a Fragrantica score of 4.27 out of 5. Coming in at number 4, and this is no surprise to anyone because I think the score is exactly the same as it was the last time that I looked at this fragrance with you guys. It is a Givenchy fragrance. It is a Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Reserve Privé is a fantastic, boozy, it's got that really realistic Scotch note in there. It's a boozy with the mix of iris. So when you combine iris, booze, and some intense cedar, some woods in the background, a little bit of smoke. Not as much smoke as in the Givenchy Boissé, but very, very nice, very masculine. One of the best, again, one of the best new releases. So I agree with a very strong position of 4th place. I said it was the same score. It may have changed a bit, but it's pretty close to what it was when we last discussed this. It is sitting at 4.33 out of 5 on Fragrantica. Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. All right, guys, we are down to your top 3 brand new releases in the designer arena so far this year, 2022. Coming in at number 3 is a fragrance by Hermes that I agree is an epic scent. It is Terre d'Hermes Eau Givre. Eau Givre is and was and is a surprise fragrance release to me. I wasn't expecting a lot because of course, it's not a Terre d'Hermes fragrance, but H24 was a letdown to me. And the Eau de Parfum just nominally better. But I really, really love the whole citron, isoe super woody vibe that is in Eau Givre. It's a fantastic fragrance, and it seems like the more simple Hermes goes, the more simple the territory, the more simple the fragrance, the better and the more epic the fragrance is. Very simple formula, kind of hard to do, but they're doing a fantastic job, and this is an excellent fragrance. It definitely deserves the number 3 spot, and it's sitting currently at a 4.35 out of 5 on Fragrantica. Terre d'Hermes Eau Givre by Hermes. Coming in at number 2, which was previously number 1, finally being kicked off the throne by a newer release, is a fragrance by Azzaro in the very popular Wanted line, now the most wanted line. It is the most wanted parfum. Definitely not a surprise there. Definitely deserving of that 2nd place. What a powerful, wonderful fragrance and DNA. I don't know of any guy that wouldn't appreciate just how awesome this fragrance is, just how long lasting, and the kind of sillage trail that every guy dreams of wearing and of having can be experienced with the most wanted parfum. So far, I think for Azzaro, this is the ultimate evolution of the most wanted scent profile, is the most wanted parfum. Again, definitely deserving of the 2nd place. It is sitting currently at a 4.43 out of 5 on Fragrantica. All right, guys, the moment that you've all been waiting for, and I will just say it wasn't even close. It was a landslide in terms of the rating and the voting, not only on Fragrantica, but other websites that I visited just to kind of get some feedback, although the data primarily for this list is from Fragrantica. But all other websites agree that Coming in at number 1, at least currently, so far in the year 2022 in the designer fragrance arena, fragrance by the subsidiary of Giorgio Armani, which is Emporio Armani, Stronger With You Oud. Now what's interesting about Stronger With You Oud is it is not a North American release. It is specifically targeted for the Middle Eastern audience. Slowly coming in our direction. I was really happy that I could get my hands on this fragrance from a discounter that actually happened to get it early, so I was able to experience this. If you haven't experienced Stronger With You Oud yet, don't worry, you will get your opportunity. You will get your chance. It's a growing in popularity, just like Stronger With You Leather when it was first released, and then it just got scarce, and then you didn't see it for a while, and then it came back and resurfaced, and now you can get it pretty much at any discounter website. That's likely to be the case with Stronger With You Oud. Why do I think it's number 1? You guys rated it so high because the Stronger With You line of fragrances is just such a strong contender for best fragrance ever, really, in the designer category. How can you go wrong with the Stronger With You scent profile, right? And just add oud to it. You're just adding more power, you're just adding more projection, more longevity, and more life to a fragrance that's already boasted really good performance anyway. You're just adding to that with an oud, and it's blended masterfully. They didn't drop the ball on this one. They kept that success story that Stronger With You is right on down the line and imbibed it into this particular release, and that is why it's number 1. Well guys, that is it for your picks of top 10 fragrances in 2022 so far in the designer category. If you have any of these fragrances, have experienced them, let me know what your thoughts are, which one is your favorite, or if there are some that didn't get mentioned, and surprisingly there are quite a few out of the 28 that didn't get picked, didn't get mentioned. Let me know what your favorites out of those are as well. However, thanks so much for stopping by, checking out today's video, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.